G'day ladies and gents, and welcome to Wattspark Plays World of Warcraft Classic. Time skips will be available throughout the video, so you don't have to watch this in one sitting. A notification icon will appear on the screen when you've reached a marked checkpoint. Further timestamps may come in the future. Even if you don't feel like watching the entire video, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below, and remember that this is a copy of my Twitch stream. The only changes I'll make to the VOD is to shorten really long delays here and there, and to update you where needed. Otherwise, sit back, grab a knockback a cold one, and please enjoy the video. And this is what the queue looks like thus far. Now, I've only been home for like half an hour, and I have been home long enough to actually see this positioning queue go up, not down, which is hilarious. This is like, interesting. How is it that people immediately get prioritization over me? Is that meant to be like a counter error, or I'm not worried about it. It'll do my head in. But while we wait, let's just resume what we did yesterday, hey? Let's just watch some other individuals play while I wait.
75% of the people can't go. It's actually amazing. My wife gets so annoyed sometimes because she'll like ask me a question. I'll whip out my phone and just literally just type verbatim in Google, and I'll tell her the answer. She's like, "Well, if I wanted to Google, I could have done it myself." I'm like, "Why didn't you?"
Yeah, why didn't you?
Like, that's what I would do.
All right, let's go.
When friends would ask at me online, I would just because there's a Google version that says, "Let me Google that for you." And then you can add into like what they were looking for. And you just send them that, and it's this automated thing that types it out for them.
Before.
It's
funny.
Yep, I sent it to the wrong channel.
Joker's 40. Nice.
They're head to head then, because Abbey hit 41
go.
not too long ago, and now Joker's 41 too.
Yeah, they're going pretty quickly.
But I'm wondering which one of the two is going to fall off first. Who's going to crash?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes,
I mean,
give me a moment.
We cannot know right now.
Just going to turn
Are
down
spamming dungeons
this.
the fastest way to level? I believe it is the fastest way to level, but that's assuming you have 5 people that have the same schedule as you, assuming all 5 of them don't get DC'd or anything like that. So yes.
I'm going to leave it plain.
Yeah, you need to have people that go the specific talents, go to specific spells. They know the dungeon inside and out.
Yeah.
You need to be on the same page with them to know what to pull, how to pull it, when to pull it, and so on. If you're trying to just dungeon level with pugs, you're probably going to be slower than questing by yourself. And you need a solid combo. There's 2 versions: there's spell cleave and melee cleave. Both self-explanatory. Spell cleave is all the spells.
You need something?
AoE, so the mages with Arcane Explosion, Blizzard. You have the warlocks with Rain of Fire and Hellfire.
Light bless you.
You have also Flame Strike, obviously. And then the melee cleave, that comes online later. They're slower for now, but later on you get your Wind Fury, you get your Sweeping Strike.
Just a reminder for all those people that may not have been watching last night, when you first log into the game, the first thing you really should do is set up your user interface.
I don't think any of them are really cleaving.
Although it won't actually say so, these keys are actually bound.
Pretty sure. And just press Whirlwind whenever possible.
You need something?
Ooh, this is gonna be a wipe. Vanished. Does he have Vanish? I don't think he has Vanish yet.
No, he does not have Vanish.
Yeah.
He has
Safe
Vanish,
travels.
but it's on cooldown.
Yeah, okay, I see.
And he's not going to use evasion for this, it's pointless. So. I mean, I
Feels
think
bad.
they killed the
Yeah, I
mobs
think
around
they
the
went in.
boss.
I think they went in way too early.
Way too early.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
unlike
Like
yesterday, I actually have all of my
Like,
add-ons
yeah,
this
this
time
boss
switched
drops,
on.
drops good gear, but
Um,
it's just not.
I'm using
Yeah.
Z Pearl for my unit
Man
frames,
we have not
so
seen in a very long
Oh,
time.
S-Fan. The man himself.
The pumper
Look at
himself.
that! Look at that mattress behind him. And so S-Fan was one of those guys that got DC'd for three or so hours early on in the race, and he was super frustrated. He's like, you know, I'm not even going back to my hotel. I'm just going to Walmart, buying a blow-up mattress, and camping out here.
Yeah.
And, literally
then-
bought a blow-up mattress.
And then when he got into the queue, like his phone was going off, and he was sitting right on top of his mattress. Like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
He didn't even try to get his chair. He just sat on his mattress and played for a while.
Yeah, S-Fan is what level is S-Fan? I can't even see his
He's 23.
23. Okay, I
He's
see
in
it
a group
top
of
left,
Asmon, Bell Delphine,
yeah.
Mad Season, and
Yeah, what are they doing? Just chilling.
I guess they're all doing their respective trainings and quest pickups and so on.
But yeah, S-Fan is definitely not speed leveling. He is a self-proclaimed slowest leveler in the world.
I mean, he is also playing a paladin.
It's true. Dude, seal a command, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Break a big dam.
I don't know how you can play a paladin or level a paladin. Then again, I level a warrior, so I shouldn't really be commentating on paladins.
also for
We're in
all
the
of those
same boat. We're
people
in the same
who've
struggle
never
boat
played
together.
Classic WoW before and they've
Then
played
again,
the
I have more
retail
than one
game,
viable spec.
this game actually
Jerry is
does
level
involve
38. He's
grinding.
sleeping at the moment.
If you just do all the quests, you will eventually run out of quests, and
Then
in
again,
some
Here's
circumstances,
the thing.
you will
though,
not have enough level to move
the
into the
top-
next zone.
The top side of progression.
So grinding and just killing things along the way
You only really have
is a tactic
Your holy
that is
paladins.
actually
Well, in the
very,
more
very
casual
warranted
side,
and you should be
you
doing.
have a lot of retribution paladins. Because why not, right? It's casual, you're not really pushing for parses or anything or like quick speed runs and so on.
Yeah.
So
That being said, I think even since vanilla, I think
Mind
Paladin
you,
is,
there
like, one of
there
the
is
best,
a
like,
bit of
RP
a
classes, like,
a sweet spot to that.
Paladin because of, you know,
There is such a thing as too much grinding.
people. Man, this is a giant pool.
that is a massive pull right there.
Holy.
Like,
they also over.
At the moment,
quite-
I don't actually have any quest helping add-ons
he got
at
hit.
all
Oh.
installed.
One auto attack and it allowed him to
Oh
live.
my
If that
God.
auto went through, he was dead. He got lucky.
So, yeah.
I think Guzu's luck has rubbed off on him.
Essentially, this is how the
Every
game
time
was
right now.
meant
Yeah, 'cause
to be
every time we
played.
see
So
Guzu go down to 1 HP, I always think, oh, he's gone.
how
He's
how
done.
that
He
how that would
finally will go
affect is
down.
a lot
But
of the
I've seen
time
it
you
in
spend
Stone
most of
Mountain.
the
We've
time
seen
running
it,
around looking for your
in Thousand
targets
Needles. Every time
and killing
he's on 1
everything
HP,
along the way.
and he lives. Even if his gouge is on cooldown, his advantage on cooldown, his evasion on cooldown, he
Oh, God.
manages to live.
I cannot ag all three of them.
Willpower.
that guy-
Just through sheer willpower, he
I
lives.
don't know. But yeah. That guy's crazy.
I can survive 2.
Pulling with health
I
is-
cannot survive
He
3.
just doesn't stop. And he hasn't been punished for it either, which is surprising.
Got some full bags right there.
He's just getting really cool. I think that's to watch the tailor. So you can level it up when there's a little bit of downtime. And then whatever greens they have that they don't want, just make it disenchantment.
Is Sko leading a raid team? I don't have a raid team. If you mean Molten Core, like when you get there, no. So it's a little bit of a misconception, and we talked about it a couple times. This event isn't solely method. It's a lot of different people, and there are method people here. But the retail method people that you know, like Sko, Deep Shades, all those guys running around, they're not doing the race hardcore by any means. They are totally chill. They're living it up here in Vegas.
They're here for the
Not
experience
but-
more than
Yeah, they're here to have fun.
Yeah.
They're not here to, their thing is retail WoW, the like new raids that come out. That's where they try hard. This is just chill.
Now the
They're
other
just
quest I
taking their
had picked
time.
up, which is
There
not
are some
showing
guys
on
here like Kenny,
the
who
quest bar,
are trying to
is somewhere over
hit that
here.
world first 60, and if they don't get that world first 60, they will be on that world first rag kill. So,
I am
especially
practically
Kenny.
trying to
Kenny's
base
a
this
part
off
of
memory.
Progress, if you don't know who Progress is. Progress was the top guild in both the most recent private servers, right?
They've been the top guild on a lot of the private servers.
Yeah. So Progress is very hardcore on the private servers, and they have transferred to Classic. Kenny is a part of that, and so they are 100% going for that world first rag kill.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys here, like I know a bunch of them, like Maldiva, and then some of those guys like Veteran Hero are also doing that. A couple of the other guilds that we're not covering here. And there's probably about 4 guilds that are probably realistically in the race.
Yeah, realistically.
For the world first rag kill.
Yeah.
And now when I say guild, that means you have to have at least 30 to 40 people that are 60, right?
Yeah.
And then with filling in people that are 55 plus.
Yeah. Like 40 people you don't even realistically need, as long as you bring the buffs for the people that are 60. So for instance, you can bring in, let's say, level 55 druid if you don't have one.
Yeah.
Give people Market a Wild. If it's a boomkin, it's even better for the spellcasters. You put him in the mage group. He just stands there. He looks pretty. He gives spell crit to the casters. That's all he has to do.
Hero is Sony. Yes, we know.
Yeah.
He's actually in Hero.
I am in Hero.
If you can't tell by his little hoodie right there.
Yep.
But yeah, he's in Hero. They are going. I said Hero, didn't I? When I was saying.
Yeah, I think
Hero.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
that was like the second guild I said.
pretty sure
Yeah.
included it.
But yeah, they are also going for it. I believe some of those guys are like, most of them are probably 30-ish, right? 30. I know Cawthon is 35.
I will have to check during the break where Sony and all the guys are.
Yeah.
Because I have not checked up on them.
What level are we? I'm level 10.
I don't want to say.
Yeah.
I'm in this
we've been not being degens because we have to. This is work for us, right? We're casting and we're here. We're doing other things, and so we have not. In addition to that, I've also sat in an 8-hour queue today, so I only had like 2 hours of playtime today.
I swear it was over here somewhere.
We're baby boys still.
Yeah. Yesterday on launch, I got in the 27,000 queue, which had the highest time estimate of being at 769 minutes, which was fun. Then, because I think it was either Eastern Kingdom or Kalimdor being Thanos off the server, that I managed to like move up and finally get in.
Yeah.
I don't know when Eastern Kingdom got Thanos, and then I managed to get in and play for a little bit, and then Kalimdor just got snapped.
Yeah.
And then I got kicked off and put that in the 7,000 queue.
Well, some of us like some of the other casters, like Nano, I think is level 20. Which is pretty respectable for like casting and like sleeping normal schedule and stuff.
Basically, when he's not on cast, he's playing.
Yeah. He's been no-lifing basically as much as he can.
Yeah.
I think Martin Creek is like level 16 or 17, which is pretty decent. A lot of the casters haven't even played at all. Do we play during casting? Well, unfortunately, we cannot use these laptops to play Classic and level while we're talking. I am not that good of a multitasker.
I'm playing with my feet right now.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Oh, nice. Foot pedals?
Yeah, foot pedals.
Yeah. What's is your left your auto shot and or your auto attack?
I'm a warrior. I only need like 2 abilities.
Oh, auto attack and charge?
I need charge and then, you know.
Yeah?
Just keep paddling.
Nice. Yeah, there you go.
It's easy. It's easy level now. I control the mouse with like one hand, kind of where I want to go, and the other is charge and then auto attack.
Yeah.
And we're good to go.
But yeah, to answer your question, we have been playing in our off time as much as we can. But also, we're here. We're obviously not in the race for World First, and so we're also here to support some of these guys back here. So we've been like, I don't know, bringing them food, making sure they have water and stuff like that, helping them out, and helping them out wherever we can.
Yeah, especially on launch day.
Yeah, launch day was very hectic.
People needed a lot of help. like the stage managers and so on needed a lot of help, so we just jumped in.
Yeah.
Because we weren't on until, I think, I wasn't on until 8 p.m. I don't know about you.
The very first day, I logged on as soon as I wasn't in a key rep.
Ah, okay.
Right away. So I got in pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I think I got kicked out by one of the DCs. So I ended up calling it quits after a couple hours. Tips is logging out. So on that note, I think we're also gonna log out. So
Log out for the next few minutes.
we're gonna log out for the next few minutes. Take a break. Later, Chrissy.
Bye.
Night.
See you around.
But yeah, we're gonna take a break. So we'll be right back in a couple minutes.
I may need to mute this. Yep. Yes, all of that effort for my single copper.
Good day to you. See you around.
Hello. Safe travels.
Alright guys, welcome back to Method's Race to World First Classic Edition. I am Moose and I'm joined with Zavalash here.
How you doing?
And I'm good. Just took a little break. And now we're watching our favorite rogue, Jake and Bake here. And doing some Wailing Caverns, killing these Druid of the Fangs.
With the group
Well
in the back.
Yeah.
Boys in the back.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-man group that's in the
Yeah,
back there.
Minda, yeah, all the, yeah.
Play pleasure.
Yeah, so these guys are definitely not out ahead. Jake's been questing a lot. I think dungeoning here and there.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
Yeah, they're level 20. They have been plagued with a lot of the DCs, and so I think they're definitely not in the running for the world for 60 at least, right? Because obviously, the world first right now we have a hunter and a mage that are both double their level, right? They're 41 right now,
41
which is very crazy. But yeah.
What can I do for you?
So we did actually, like during the break, walk over to Marche and asked him why were they trying to push so hard in RFK, because we didn't see
Have a good
the
one.
beginning part.
Yeah.
And basically what they said to us is they're just trying to see how far they can push, so they have their finish line for how far they can push it, and then they just reset again.
Have a good one.
Because in vanilla, at least, the dungeons, especially the longer, the later it goes, the bigger the level discrepancy is between the start and the finish. So here the mobs are 25 at the start, and then at the end they're 30-ish.
Yeah.
So I mean, we saw it earlier. They were struggling against mobs of level 30.
Yeah. And they were just sort of just seeing how far they could go. They weren't actually trying to, I don't think they thought that they could easily clear it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Good day to you.
Kenny Marsh, what a
He's here. Oh boy, he's still going.
No, dude. Kenny is definitely wide awake here. He is he's farming away. Look at those arcane explosions.
See you later.
Oh, they're doing armory now. They're done with library. They moved on.
I like how he did the hey guys.
He's
I was
37 and a half
Trey's
now,
in the chat too. Look, everyone's just hanging out in the chat.
Everyone's
Guys, get
chilling.
back to leveling. Don't
I
talk
mean,
in our
as
chat.
As soon as I hand in the
Yeah,
quest
for
to
the next 2
Goldshire, I'm
hours,
going to
you
quickly
have
run the
something to keep
Stormwind.
insane, You need something.
Look at these guys.
I'm
able to
pretty
meme with,
sure
running
the
on
Still
sleep.
smiles on their face.
professions
Yeah,
that
that's
the
most
guild and
important
I
thing, right?
have
Just complete zombies by this point, because they have been
discussed.
level 40.
I don't think
Yeah.
I can get them in
40 plus
Goldshire. I
hours
think
at
I've got to
this
go all the
point.
way to Stormwind for
I
it.
mean, they're close to 40 hours at this point.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen
Jerry stopped at
Stormwind's
38. He's sleeping left.
classic
Squad.
style
Highest level at the moment
since...
is 41.
Oh...
Give this guy some drinks.
I'd
and
like
food.
to say
Well,
the
he's
days of
almost-
Burning
he's halfway to
Crusade.
38.
And these guys are taking regular breaks to get their drinks, their food,
Yeah.
their
So
bathroom, and so
what
on.
these guys are doing is they're basically clearing dungeons so fast.
King's
You
on
can only
the
clear
front.
5 an hour, right? So they're clearing so fast that they typically have about 5 minutes left over within that hour, and they're using that as their break.
Wow,
time.
wonderful.
So they're just waiting for their dungeons to reset, take a 5-minute walk around, bathroom break, whatever.
I mean, Armory is a little bit longer than Graveyard and
The
Library.
Alliance.
I mean, with Graveyard, you had your 50-minute runs. They had to go into Library just to be able to
Blacksmith,
not be stuck because of that 5 dungeon
weaponsmith,
limit.
Yeah.
Right.
shield
But with Armory
crafter.
being
What are
as
you
long as it
looking
is
for?
and being more
Have
on
a
their
good
level,
one.
as we see, like these guys are level 37, and towards the end it's around 40-ish, I think. Like towards the end of I think the last boss here
think
is
so, yeah.
40-ish, give or take, like 39 or 40.
You need something?
So this is more their level. It will take a longer time, so they won't be hit with the dungeon reset. They won't have to run into the library to go back
Safe
and
travel.
make sure that they're not stuck. Because I'm pretty sure they have a timer going. Like every hour, they just reset the timer and then keep going until the timer is like at an hour, and then it can go again.
Yeah, so those of you that are asking, this event is...
How are you?
Yes, we are covering the Race to World First 60. And obviously, not everyone here is going
See
to
you
that.
later.
A lot of people here just to celebrate classic WoW. They just
Yeah.
want to have a good time. People like Kenny, for instance, are going for that World First 60. And obviously, we will keep you
What can I
updated
do
on
for you?
Joker and Abbey and Durin, all these other guys that are ahead right now. And so we will cover
See you
that as
around.
best we can. We cannot actually show you the footage due to legal reasons. We don't have their consent, so we can't show you that. However, we can speak to it. But it is not only the World First 60, it is also the World First Rag and Ani.
Yeah.
And obviously,
How are you?
one person cannot kill Ragnani, and so you need 40 people. And so a lot of
Have a
these
good
guys are gonna not only hit 60, but they're gonna start farming and getting their guild there, and they're gonna go in with 35 to 40 people, about 60.
Yeah. Most of them being mages.
Yeah, and yeah.
Actually,
probably,
first of all, I'm
Some
gonna
of them
have to
are
go
being
farm
mages
some
and
gold
warriors,
by the
yeah,
looks of
maybe a couple
things.
hunters, probably.
Probably
Couple
100.
warlocks.
Yeah. I mean, you need the hunters, right? You need at least
Need
one
help?
hunter for
Right,
trank
for the trank shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2, right? Or no, one at the initial,
One or,
right?
yeah,
yeah,
one or two.
And later on, you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically bring 2 because hunters, you know, they're not the smartest players in the world.
Yeah.
And like, other than leveling, they're not like the greatest, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of
'Cause that's
the people leading right now are solo hunters that
Yeah.
have been questing. However, well, Joker has been questing, and he's a mage. I think he's the only mage that's really been questing. Most mages dungeon level because it's really efficient to do the AoE cleave groups, going through all these dungeons.
Go with honor.
But yeah, I
friend.
mean, you're primarily going to see mostly mages in all these groups. Ooh,
6
that's a,
int 5. That is
a good
That is a
green.
very good roll.
Yeah.
He's happy with that.
Yeah.
How do mages level so fast? Dungeon grinding.
Yeah. Dungeon grinding. Yeah.
That's really it.
Joker's been questing a lot, so
Yeah,
I don't know
Joker's
his
the
route.
one
He has a really
questing.
good route.
But he's been AoE grinding the entire way through, which is also
Yeah.
very efficient for solo quest, or for solo at least. Like, he's doing a mixture of AoE farming plus questing.
Yeah.
Which helps a lot.
What can I help you with?
Because in vanilla, you have to do a lot of grinding in order to have quests relative to your level,
Be careful.
right?
Yeah.
Because every class, no matter what, has to grind in order to stay, you know, on pace with the zones.
Right. Yeah.
Because you will otherwise run out of quests to do.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, there is a lot of grinding.
And it's good that we're on 112. Well,
Yeah.
technically 113. Because beforehand, there were even less quests. And people
Yeah.
had to grind 3-4 levels, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
In order to
Actually,
keep that, like, in relevance to certain zones. Or to at least be able to quest a little bit.
what I might do is go back to the
look at
priest
this fresh
trainer
time.
and
Look at
pick up
beautiful.
power word shield.
I'm this bear boy. Yeah, I guess you don't really, if you're a druid, you're not really playing. He wanted to play balance.
Power
obviously you
world
can't
shield's
really
gonna come in
level as
very
balance.
handy.
He's been rolling as a bear.
Everyone has to
He's
roll
been-
as a bear.
Been playing a little feral maybe while he's questing, but yeah, I think ultimately in game
King's honor, friend.
I would. I
Which
mean, yeah,
is,
he can play balance.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Everybody
He
needs, like,
wants
the
to
one.
play balance.
Rip.
It's probably not.
I mean,
optimal,
they will
right?
let him.
Right.
Every raid
Farewell.
needs at least one, right?
Oh,
I mean, maybe
time
even
to go
early on,
grind.
'cause, I mean, Bay was saying, you know, the insect swarm does reduce hit chance by 2%. I don't know if that affects bosses in particular. If it doesn't, then the only reason why you bring a boomkin is just for the spell crit.
Yeah.
But because they cannot use Wrath,
Right.
or I mean, they cannot use Moonfire.
Moonfire. Yeah.
Yeah.
You basically just spell crit and then wrath.
Yeah,
That's it. Like, you just-
that's all you can
yeah.
do. And even then, you run out of mana extremely quickly.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't it? Who was it? Weird. So I was looking on like some of the WoW guys and stuff, you can see like the rotations, and then you look at the boomkin one. It's literally just like wrath.
Yeah, that's all you
wrath,
can.
wrath, wrath.
All you're allowed
It's
to do is
literally
just
just like
wrath.
one button.
Ooh, a big one. And Starfire, I think, is a thing. But I don't know, it's just the thing with Boom. Or just in general. A lot of their abilities leave a debuff on the target. You know, like with Kitty, it's a lot of bleeds,
Yeah.
which doesn't do anything
Yeah,
in
and-
MC because almost all the bosses are immune.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, Swarm doesn't affect bosses, alright.
It does not. Okay.
Yeah, Boomkins are even more useless.
You just
Starfire
want
doesn't
one
even
for
do.
the-
Okay. I'm not familiar with Druid. That's like my least.
Yeah. No one plays druid in. Come on.
I mean, they do.
I mean, there are, but like,
There's dozens of them. Dozens.
I mean, all the. I feel like if you're gonna play druid, you heal. And
Everyone in RP, you called paladins RPs. Now it's Druid RP.
druids and paladins are like GRP. Actually, in hunters are.
That's read hunters. We're just going down
Not
the list
okay,
at
not
this
in,
point.
not in vanilla. Hunters are actually good questers and stuff, and good PvP. Hunters are pretty well-rounded, except in raid. They're not really.
They fall off.
They fall off, but like early game hunters are really good.
Yeah.
But I'm talking in retail, like literally all hunters RP. They just like get all these matching transmogs and tame all these pets and like. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a hunter boy.
I play a hunter as well. Basically since DPC onwards.
Oh, nice.
That's why I never was brought because of the stigma towards hunters. If I was a hunter, we don't bring it. Because on private servers as well, every time something messed up with a hunter pet, that did something that didn't get dismissed, that was having a living bomb and didn't get dismissed either.
Dude,
Oh, we didn't get a
literally
trank shot.
hunters are the bane of everyone's existence. Oh no, Barrage pulled 20 mobs.
They didn't fix that for so long. So when I was just randomly barraging, it would just go wide up in the air. We'll pull like a seagull.
Who
Randomly.
pulled that mob? Oh, sorry, it was the hunter.
I can't do anything about it, man.
Even in vanilla.
Yeah.
Trank shot. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to have that. I don't have that ability.
It's none of my bars,
I don't have the tome or whatever. You invited me for the trank shot.
That's the only reason why you're here. What is my purpose? To use trank shot. And to claim everything as a hunter item.
Is there anyone hunter? I'm sorry. Is there anyone higher than them right now? Yes. There is a hunter and a mage that are level 41. We cannot show you those streams because we do not have legal consent to show you.
This is someone I don't think we've seen, like, at all.
Who is it?
Isa.
We haven't seen much of her. So her and
Yeah.
Kungan have they slept quite a bit to try and Kungan was just telling us this earlier, but they want to ideally stream 8 hours because obviously they're EU.
Yeah.
And so they adjusted their sleep schedule to come in at like 3 a.m., which is 10 a.m. for EU.
It's 9 hours later. Yeah. It's 9 hours.
Yeah, so it's like prime EU.
Yeah, it's new.
And so they adjusted their schedule for EU, so that that they can just keep schedule, keep their whatever.
Yeah. Because Kungan did say earlier that he's gonna go for like 14, 15 hours.
Yeah.
I think, 14, 16 hours. We had a good go for today, and again, people will totally into it. We saw Kala enter earlier as well. As the day progresses, people will come back.
Yeah.
There's all the method guys, but besides Audit, I think it is.
Haunted and Kung. Well,
Yeah, I mean, Kungan just came back, and Audit has been going throughout the night. Again, someone we haven't seen in a while.
Well,
Is this right?
him. He's been running.
I mean, yeah, he's been running with Trey, so we've seen him.
Point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing more dead mines, and they said.
Their priest is on the level. That's
Yeah,
why
so
they're
their priest is only level
one.
22, and so even though I think these guys are what 23 or 24.
24, right?
Yeah, and so they way over level dead mines. Everything's still green, so they're still getting XP. And obviously,
it's still
pulling
worth it.
50 mobs at the same time is
Well,
very good for them, right?
Trey just got one shot.
Oof.
He was setting him in. Oh, Zizarin is close. Nice. He's fine.
But yeah, so they're sort of carrying their priest, making sure he gets to like level 23, 24, and then they're going to move on to probably SFK, right?
After Dead Mines?
Yeah, or where do they go? No, Whaling Cap.
No, they don't go to Whaling Campers. That's
Oh,
backwards.
no, that's backwards. Yeah.
Probably SFK, or yeah, they probably go SFK for like a few levels, and then they go to SF.
Yeah.
And then be there for like
You're
the next
making me doubt
day.
myself. I was like, wait, no.
Yeah, no, they do go SFK.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. We have to ask Trey again. at
Trey
one
dead
point.
again.
He just keeps dying in these pools. I don't know. He's getting greedy.
Trey, are y'all going to SFK after Dead Mine? There you go, let's ask him.
Yeah, he's probably like listening again. I don't know. Stockade.
stockades.
I mean, they are in dead mines, realistically, so they could...
They could go to stockades, but they'd have to do the death run.
I remember.
So tips.
I remember what Trey's gonna do. I remember now. They will go stockades, and then afterwards, they're gonna go Nomagon. I think that they're gonna be the only party that's gonna go Nomagon.
You think so?
I know so, because if you've seen his Twitter, he's been spoiling it, you know?
Oh. Trey, is this true?
I'm pretty sure it's true.
Kenny is still streaming, yes. They are drinking some water right now. I think they just died, actually, on a big pull.
Who did? Sorry?
Kenny. They were asking about Kenny.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're going back in.
So we haven't seen Noog in a while. Noog is also part of this group.
Yeah. Like we have three people in the
This
same
Meiji
group.
group, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so all these guys at the end, as you were saying earlier, they're still yellow.
Yeah, they still are yellow.
Even
so
though
it's
they're
still
like
good XP.
23,
Yeah.
24, there's still good XP for these guys.
Isn't there a low drop chance that one of these pirates drops like an epic companion? I think it's there's like a green wing macaw, and there's also like an epic version. If memory serves me right, that might be in the remake of Death Mines that drops. But I'm not 100% on it.
I think it's the remake.
I think it's the remake. Epic from STV. Okay. I knew it was from Pirates somewhere.
Now Lapan and them are number. Yeah. So
STV,
the
okay,
reason we're saying Trey might go there is because Trey was originally in Now's group.
Yeah.
But then due to the disconnect, Trey got separated from that group, and so that is why they're in Nomergon, and that's why he's saying that they think that they're going to Nomergon.
Trey's probably like
is
convincing them
because-
to go Nomergon.
is because that was their original plan, was to go Nomergon.
They are white quality and classic, but they are extremely drop chance, which makes them be considered epic. And I know at one point it did get changed into epics, you know, to reflect that they are that low of drop chance.
Is Hunter good? Hunter is very good up until raid, really. And you still need one or two hunters for raid.
Yeah.
But it falls off a lot. Very good quester, very good in PvP. You're a Viper seeing machine. You're what else? You're not like amazing in arenas. Well, I guess arenas and BGs you just Viper sting everyone.
Yeah, you just Viper sting.
Trying to think of what else. I guess that's it. Just
I mean, they do.
You're
they're
not good in
solo.
dungeons. You're not good in dungeons.
They're great for solo content.
Yeah, good
Because
for solo.
they're going to be farming down. It's basically they're going to be hunters. That is right.
Say it again.
You were talking about hunters. Yeah. So they're going to be running Marathon to get their mounts. Warlocks and hunters, the moment they get 60, either they're going to get Devil Star done, or they're just jumping into Marathon and farming money from there.
Hunters and warlocks are very good at farming money because you can solo not Mardon. What dungeon are you able to solo? You could farm
Princess runs. They just Marathon.
It is Mardon.
It is Mardon.
Yeah. So you can go in there and farm.
Oh yeah, and DM, but that's phase 2. That's not anytime soon.
DM is. Well, yeah, hunters are very good all around except for raid, right? Except for you need that token hunter for trick shot.
Yeah. Mostly need
That's still
because
recharging.
bosses do have like a software and a raid that you can get rid of. Well, first on experience Core Hound, I think it's called. It's not. I cannot recall what the Core Hound is called. I'm blanking on it. It's a bit late for me. It's been a minute since I've done an MC run.
Yeah, man. Speaking of streamers who need to sleep, we need to sleep.
Yeah.
It's
'cause
4
you don't
a.m.
need,
for us.
yeah. Magma, there we go. And look from it.
Yeah.
The mic is a BWL. That's on until phase 3.
Yeah, that's later.
The beast that's UBRS? LBRS.
LBRS, I believe.
I think that's UBRS. The beast.
You're right. Yeah, UBRS, I think. Yeah.
Which you can eventually tame way like that was
not immediately. right?
No, like when they revamped Beast Mastery to be able to tame exotic pets.
Yeah,
Goreham was one
that's
of
not
them.
until later.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how many expansions is it? I can't remember. That was
Lich
Wrath.
King.
Yeah, that was Wrath.
Yeah, that was Wrath. I'm pretty sure.
This is where you got like your locate a hawk, the spirit bears, and so on. Ghost Crawler wasn't.
Yeah.
Spirit crab.
How about our hunters in raid?
Middle of the pack.
The middle of the pack. Yeah, they're not awful, but they're not the best. But you really don't do anything in terms of like your like rotation and stuff, because you can't use like surfacing, like you can't use any of your like half your abilities.
Yeah.
Basically just auto shot,
Multi-shot, aimed shot.
aim
if
shot.
you have a slow enough bow.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, right? And then you just
Yeah.
trank shot on cooldown, pretty much.
I don't have the gold
The one
tooth
like
quest
the
yet, so there's
range
no
go up.
point.
Yeah.
Okay, drank, done.
Yeah, I mean you're literally just a trank shot bot.
Ghost
for the
Crawler
most
wasn't
part.
Wrath. I remember Ghost Crawler being underwater in the underwater zone in
It
Kata.
was in. Was it Kata?
I'm pretty sure that was Kata. The underwater zone, like
It's
way
in-
first,
it's
like
in
way
Val-
down in the
Val-
corner. Valshira, yeah.
Is that Kata? That's Kata.
That is Kata,
Yeah.
because there was no underwater zone that I can recall in BC.
No, it wasn't BC.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't in Wrath either. Yeah, Bashir. There we go.
Bashir.
Yeah, it wasn't in Wrath either.
Bashir,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if it was a.
There's so many zones.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the names of the zones.
I have not played Kata.
Valshira was
Valshira is
Legion.
Legion.
Yeah, okay. I knew it was a V.
I've got-
V1.
I've got the excuse that I haven't played a lot of retail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's sad because I wrote the Hunter Pet Guide, so I should know that, but
It's fine. It's late, man. We still adjusting to this game. So.
That's not ready yet.
Hey, Bootma is here. Yo, what's up, man? You good? Feeling good?
Spirit Beast with Wrath and Ghost Crawler. Yeah. Exactly. Boom.
There you go. Thank you, Twitch chat. Help us out.
Gotta run.
We got level 37 now. Kenny, it's 37.
How many rogues will be running in the
Yep.
raid? You'll have a couple rogues. Rogues are pretty good damage. In MC.
They're tracking the auto attacks to be able to, because especially for hunters in particular.
Yeah. You want swing timer, right? Because you can weave in all your abilities between your auto attacks and stuff like that. And so if you're maximizing damage, and so like later on, I don't remember when they changed it, but basically at a certain point, I want to say in like Kata or so, at some point they changed your auto attacks for hunters.
That was
where
Wrath. Like
it Wrath?
at the end of Wrath, when the patch I think was like 4 point.
Yeah,
Something like that.
At some point, they change auto attacks to where it doesn't matter what you're casting;
Yeah.
it just casts every 3 seconds or whatever your attack speed was. But now you have to time it. So, like, if you move, you interrupt your auto attack, and so you have to time the animation for your auto attacks to hit. Right? So you don't want to interrupt your auto attacks, and you want to use your ability, like arcane shot and stuff like that, in between your auto attacks, right? So
Yeah.
that you're maximizing damage.
Exactly. And that's why you want the bow as slow as possible, because you can get in an aim shot, auto attack, aim shot, auto attack. That's basically the entire rotation.
Yeah. And so it's
And an arcane shot.
yeah, it's funny because if you like even on like retail and stuff,
That's
you sort of
why
do
I'm
this already,
taking
like,
so
your
much
height
damage.
and
The
stuff,
second
you
one
run
is
away,
actually
you can,
level
like,
7.
Turn, jump, shoot, turn back, keep running, turn, jump, shoot, right? And you're still getting your auto attacks and your abilities. And on retail, you can't do the jump anymore. I'm sorry, on classic, you can't do the jump because in classic, the jump actually has an animation of you landing and stuff.
Yeah.
And so if you auto attack, run back, auto attack, right, you'll be fine on your normal swing timer. But if you auto attack, turn, jump, and you land, and you actually delay your swing timer because of the landing animation in classic. And it's just funny, like all like the minor differences between like how they simplified some of that stuff later on.
I think it was Johanna that had the add-on, or the swing timer add-on, where it even says like where you shouldn't be moving at all. Like it shows white, it spreads out, and it shows red, where you shouldn't take any action. So your auto shot actually goes off instead of being
Yeah,
reset.
really want to pull both of them.
Yeah, there's like a really super cool Excel doc for hunters that it's literally just like has all the the add-ons slash weak aura that you need, and then it tells you like leveling and stuff. I have it somewhere on my computer over there, but I think it's Joanna's. And if you see, like, I know Cawthon uses it.
Yeah.
There's a couple other hunters.
Basically,
that use
every
it,
hunter has that particular one, so they know when they need to stop moving. Because a lot of the hunters, like, they jump around from mob to mob, so they need to know when to stop moving, auto attack, and then move again.
Yeah. Kenny's not. Can we get Kenny's point of view?
Kenny's still going
hard. He's almost 38 right now. Yeah. So they have slowed down. But he's still pulling away, so
I don't think we'll see him get 39 before the end of the shoot. I don't think will happen.
30 minutes left. Yeah, I don't. He'll hit 38.
Yeah, 38 guaranteed. Yeah. And even that is already fast, considering the downtime he had. But then again, he is catching up with like top guys. Because earlier on the day, he was 7, 8 levels behind the top. Yeah. He is now in a 4 level, deficit. Yeah. He's caught up 4 levels with his dungeon credit, and he's still like catching up even more.
Yeah. How good are priests? Priests are pretty good. Healing wise, they're
top tier healers.
Yeah, they're the best. And then for Alliance, Fear Ward, right? Yeah. For Shadow Priests, they're mid-tier, mid to low tier, right?
Damn it, don't have any.
Every raid needs a Shadow Priest.
Right.
Especially now that the debuff slot has been like made to 16.
Right, a lot of their dots get overwritten by some.
Yeah, the only reason why you bring one is to apply Shadow Vulnerability for your Warlocks. That's the only reason why you bring them. You put a Shadow Word Pain on there, you Mind Blast to get the stacks up as soon as possible, and then by the time the Shadow Vulnerability buff is about to run out, you basically do a Mind Blast real quick. If that gets resisted, you apply another Shadow Word Pain, which will quickly get overridden anyway, but it's just to refresh the buff, or the debuff.
I mean, pretty much if you're going to play Priest, you're going to heal. You're not going to... You probably won't DPS.
Yeah, you can use a Holy Priest to apply
maybe one Shadow Priest.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, there's like a hybrid build where you can have both Holy and Shadow just to get the...
But even then, can't you have your... I'm sure you can have your Healing Priest dot weave in, can't you? And just have them...
Yeah, they can. I mean, you need a priest that has the talent specifically. And yeah, you need a priest that has a talent in order to apply it.
Right.
Not every priest can apply it.
But yeah. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after the break.
Oh god, I didn't want both of them. Damn it.
Alright, welcome back everyone to Method's Race World First Classic. And so for those of you wondering if Kitty's going to bed, he's still chugging away. And very close to 38 here.
Still cracking.
So
He's not
chugging that water. He's staying hydrated, listening to Hydration Bot.
Yep.
Man.
Is he checking posture?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
He needs a sleep bot to tell him when to go to sleep.
I think level 40 will be the sleep bot for him.
Yeah,
Where he says like, okay,
I'm pretty sure that we talked to him when he was like 35, and he was basically saying like, dude, I'm tired, I'm ready to go to sleep whenever. It's just sort of whenever my group wants to go to sleep. And he's like, I think we might try to stay up for.
He says he's not tired in the chat either, so he's
What do you
still
say?
like good to go.
I'm not tired. I don't know about that,
Oh,
Kenny.
wow.
I don't know about that. But yeah, he was saying that they wanted, you know, back when he was 35, he said he wanted to stay up for like another 5 to 10 hours to hit 40 or whatever, and
He wants to be on par with like the people ahead right now.
I feel like 40 is going to be the stopping point. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Kenny the Madman. The highest worldwide is 41.
That was
Right now.
I think I don't know what he's. Oh, he's tanking the boss. Oh no. Oh good lord. He needs a health off for this because his boss is like a truck. I think it was going low, but.
Old living room.
And a terrible staff that nobody wants. I don't know what was going on there, but
he just whelped like very loud. I don't know what that was, but
he's safe. He's secure. He didn't pull the tips out. He's fine.
Gungan is the boss now.
Oh, and
Trey,
we've
floor
seen
point
this
of view
before.
again.
We've seen this before.
Floor point of view again.
Floor POV. It's an awkward moment to tune in here. Look, oh, this guy's going hard, and then oop, yeah, down he goes.
Rip Trey, rip Trey.
They don't expect this pull up. I mean, it's all right because his priest still has to catch up anyway. So it's not the end of the world,
you're helping your priest catch up, right, Trey?
yeah, because they're Craig as well. Yeah, they're Craig. So ultimately, it doesn't matter. He's not the pet of a table.
Oh, see, he's making it sound like he intentionally died.
He actually does intentionally die, so the XP does go to his level. Okay. It is actually intentionally dying.
I don't know.
They've done the math. They've done the
It
math
sounds
on
logical, so I'll give him the slide on that one.
He's done the math better than any one of us has.
You know, that's it's almost as believable as saying oh, I lost the duel because I was lagging.
Yeah.
Oh, messed with the mechanic. I was lagging.
So
Sorry,
I was
guys.
lagging, sorry guys. I mean, back in the day it was a legit excuse, because, you know, like, people were on phone lines. So whenever someone in the house was making a phone call, you would just lag out.
Most of the people here at the race are playing NA Faralina Horde, except for S-Fan is playing Faralina Alliance. Look at this Alliance scum.
He's the only alliance I'm feeling here.
And Kenny is actually playing EU on Fire Moth.
Fire Moth,
I think. Sure. I think he's Fire Moth.
Yeah.
The best PvE class for raid sort of depends on what role you want to do. DPS wise, I believe. Right?
Warriors, rogues.
Warriors, rogues.
They're pretty high up there.
Later tanky, warrior. Healing priest.
Priest. Yeah, priest all the way.
I'd say priest. Right?
I mean, it also depends like what kind of healing you want to do. Because if you want to be doing AoE healing, it depends on what faction you want to roll. If you want to go Horde, you've got to play Shaman. If you want to play AoE healing on Alliance, you got to go Priest for the most part, if I recall.
Holy Paladin's also pretty decent.
Yeah, Holy Paladin is for like single target though.
Yeah. Shock it in.
Shock it in.
Shock it in. You can go shock it in PvP and just get some like huge crits.
Elemental Shaman valuable in late raid. You can
Not really.
not
right?
no, you go out of mana really quick.
I mean, you want an enhance for Wind Fury.
Yeah.
But
What do you bring an elemental for?
I don't think you.
I
I don't think you want Elise Shaman.
Because I didn't. Yeah, I don't think. I didn't even cover it because of how much of a meme spec it is. Because you need so many consumables just to stay relevant on the DPS meter.
Yeah.
Because you need your demonic runes, your mana potions, etc. Where a lot of the classes don't particularly need it.
Wrestle Shaman can drop Wind Fury. Yeah. So you don't even want an enhance. Yeah.
You don't need an enhance, you just need a but enhance.
Okay, so
enhance
you could
is
actually do
only
it in
really
order.
valuable when you bring a Nightfall. If your Shaman has a Nightfall, which applies a debuff of like 15% elemental damage for 5 seconds, that's the only reason why you would bring one.
Yeah.
If it procs, then all your casters will be very happy for 5 seconds. Because they're 50% extra damage. And then he goes back to being useless. Until he gets another proc and then he's...
You don't use Elemental Day as... Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah, I don't remember anything about Ellie.
I didn't even research it at all.
They're like bottom tier.
Yeah, it's
Hey
not
there.
worth bringing. I mean, then again, if you're playing like casual level, bring whatever you
I mean, you
want.
can play whatever you want.
Exactly.
Go,
Go
right? Like,
go nuts.
What are you
Do
looking
whatever
for?
you want.
But,
Play
like-
the game you want to.
Like in terms of tier, I mean, there's always going to be a best and a worst. Right?
Yeah,
and
obviously.
Ellie Shaman's one of the worst.
Down there. It's down there with the boomkins.
Boomkin's bad. What else is down there? Red Pally's pretty
Red
down
Pal,
there.
Red Pal, yeah, it's pretty down there.
Probably a little better than Ellie, but it's down there. What else is down there? I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it.
Feral Kitten. Feral Kitten.
Feral
was-
and Ray,
Yeah, at least earlier on.
Yeah, because all your bleeds don't.
Yeah, the bleeds on the play. You're not even
Well,
allowed to apply.
Feral's really good at PvP.
Yeah.
Very good, especially open world. Basically rogues.
Feral's way up. I mean, you can't really apply your bleeds. You're really relying on your pummeler. And enjoy farming that all the time. Because it only has 3 charges.
Yeah. Oh, it's Shadow Priest. Yeah, we said Shadow Priest.
Shadow Priest is...
Shadow Priest is a little.
If you go
better than
deep
those,
Shadow,
but yeah.
then sure. But no, I don't think anyone will allow you to go deep.
Life bless you.
It's probably going to be like a hybrid thing.
Survival Hunter doesn't even exist. Yeah. Survival Hunter's still
You only go...
How are you?
The only reason why you would go into the survival tree if you're low on hit. Then you go down into survival, you get the hit, talent, which is like 3% hit, and then you go down to marksman again.
Yeah.
The only, all you give up is your frenzy in the BM tree by that point.
Yeah. Kenny is playing
Have a
on
good one.
Fire Tree. Or not Fire Tree.
He's playing Affliction.
Fire.
His Amplified
what's the
Curse. I mean, his Curse of Exhaustion.
Well
there.
met.
Oh, you mean like the Realm?
Not the round.
The Realm. Kenny is playing
Yeah, Fire Mode.
Yeah.
Fire Mode E.
Safe travels.
+1 the spirit. Yeah.
The only class you play is Shadow. You got to reroll for class. And you don't have
No,
to.
you don't have to.
I mean,
Like, play what you
unless
want.
you're playing like for world first, it doesn't
Exactly.
really matter that much.
Other than that, do whatever you want. A lot of the casual guilds will not care what kind of comp they bring. So just do your, as long as you perform well, as long as you bring your roll buffs, bring your consumables, you do the mechanics, which aren't really all that difficult.
You need something?
You do a good job in damage, you'll be brought.
Yeah.
Because in Classic, because there's 40-man raids, it's more about bring the player, not the class, rather than bring the class, not the player, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the casual.
See you later.
In top tier guilds, it's predominantly mages or
Yeah.
Mages,
And that's
warriors,
also
rogues.
only if you're concerned with like having the exact, proper number of dots that overlap and stuff like that, having all 16. Like if you're in a casual guild, like honestly just play whatever you want.
Yeah,
like, you could
play, go nuts.
You
Just
could
do
probably
whatever.
bring like 15 shadow priests and still
do fine.
fine.
It's
Yeah.
useful.
I mean, it's obviously not ideal.
It's not exactly.
at
Yeah,
all,
it's not
but,
ideal.
But you can still kill the boss probably,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. You might struggle a little
the
more,
alliance.
but
It's fine. Like you're a casual.
mechanics, right?
Me-
There
mechan-
aren't
big
too many mechanics
quotations,
in
yeah.
Classic, right? Most of it's
Be
tank and
careful.
spank.
Most of it's tank and spank.
Light
Mostly
be
just
with you.
debuffs.
Yeah.
Realistically, they have to be cursed when you spell. Which is gonna be rough now because you don't have the curse over anything. That's all gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore. So what you did back in the day, you had the cursive and so on that would take care of that for you.
Yeah.
But now you have
Go
to
with
actually pay
honor,
attention
friend.
to your raid frames.
Which I mean, now you have like weak auras and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, weak auras you can literally program to do anything you want. It's like a god add-on. It's basically like Kungan in add-on form.
Tranquility totem. Is that the threat reduction one, or is that the like with the?
Oh, he leveled. He's 38.
Yeah, he's ready. Pog.
Nice.
He's
Pog,
done
Pog,
it.
Kenny. Kenny Marsh.
Get any more hype?
Kungan, yeah, Kungan's working on his second level 60 already.
He's already max geared on his first level 60.
Yeah, he's already cleared next.
Yeah, he's already cleared next. He just one-shotted everything. I don't know how he did it.
Is Blizzard going to update the WoW companion anyone? So I've heard that they're planning on not doing, like, they're not going to have any armories or anything for Classic.
They're not like online. It's not going to be an armory
at a
on
later
launch.
date.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably at a later
okay,
date.
At a later
yeah.
date, so possibly in the future. And I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure that the API and all that stuff for the companion app, if there is going to be a companion app, is based on your armory. So obviously, if there's no armory, there's no companion app.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, definitely not in the immediate future.
It's really up to Blizzard. Like when they say, okay, it's okay.
Cast yourself in Blizzard making it like a special PC server. Is Hero competing for World First? Yes, they are trying for it, yeah.
There's a few girls that are trying for it.
Yeah, Hero has a bunch of people that are 30 plus already. A good 10 to 15 people are probably already 30 plus in Hero right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive they'll open up guild chat later on.
Yeah.
Or like the guild UI.
Yeah.
And then Coffin is leading the charge there with, I think, 36 by now, I'm pretty sure. Which on Fairlina is impressive. Like, all these other players are playing on these quiet PvE realms. Coffin is playing hard mode.
Yeah.
He's doing it on Fairlina.
Yeah. Have we had any trouble
Hello.
with stream snipers yet? We actually, so most of everyone here is actually dungeon leveling, and I think it's because, I mean, one, dungeon leveling is fast for mages and stuff, but two, they want to avoid the stream snipers because you will have stream snipers. There are a couple streamers here that are leveling. Guzu and, let's see, obviously S-Fan is leveling, and a couple others. Although Guzu is just now about to hit Stranglethorn Veil, like,
See you around.
he's 30, right? So he's about to just start hitting that PvP area, and obviously as he goes higher, we'll probably see more potential
day
for
to you.
stream sniping. But as of now, no, we haven't really had any, frustration in terms of like, someone ganking. I don't think we've really seen anyone gank anyone, right?
You can see the dungeon leveling as a blessing in disguise almost with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
because they don't have to be in open world. They don't have to be as afraid of griefers. It's like coming in, you know, for the 5 seconds of fame and then
Yeah.
griefing.
That's the other thing is that so even if you are questing, right? If you're at level 30 to 35 at this point,
See you
you're
later.
obviously going for that world for 60, world first rag, right? You're probably not too concerned with PvPing, right? So people, you know, like Svan wants to PvP. He wants to get to that point. He's not going for world first, you know, 60, right? He's literally just going to because he wants to, you know, kill people open world. That's like literally one of his goals, right?
Yeah,
in
that's
Classic.
what he wants to do.
And so some of these guys that are going for that world for 60, they're probably not going to stop and kill someone because that's slowing them down in terms of like their XP and stuff like that, you know? Unless someone is trying to steal their quest mobs, they're probably not going to be concerned with them, right? And so it's
Help you find
I don't know
something?
how much ganking you'll actually see unless there's
Be careful.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have the who was it that was saying Mr. Gene was saying earlier that the Gugu, not the Gugus, what's the
The
Ooga squad.
gang.
Oh, I don't remember where things are.
That their sole goal is to level and gang streamers.
Yeah, gang streamers, and then just
and then they just say Ooga Ooga or whatever, and
just
they
run
just
off.
leave.
The
Just
Ooga
a group
gang.
of 3
Like
rogues.
bless
So
Free troll
we might
rogues.
see them in the
Ooga
future.
gang.
The Ooga gang.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if
Joker
you
and
can't
Abbey
remember
are
where
both
shit
level
is, you just
41.
ask the guards.
I'm not sure if they're stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, we haven't had an update on them in quite a long while.
Yeah. We just know that they're 41. So.
Yeah, that's all we know.
Ooga gang.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see. The Ooga gang was very popular in beta, so we'll see if they transition over to classic.
Make a return,
Yeah, they have not shown themselves yet. So
Hello.
we will
They're,
see.
A
they're
shot
hiding
for
and
now.
waiting.
Yeah, calling all Ooga gang members. Please report to the stream.
They're like just sleeper agents. They just get awoken.
Hello.
They said they would stop and go to sleep at 42. Okay, both of them said that? It's interesting that they're both collaborating at 42.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, 42. I mean, I would go to sleep much earlier than that, but it's a good stopping
Careful.
point for them.
What brings you here?
I mean, Ooga Gang was funny. You know, in the
Ishnu
way they
Allah.
did it,
Yeah.
right? But then you had other griefers that were
Where the
just like
stars
constantly
guide
just
you.
being annoying.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ooga Gang only did it like once and then vanished, right?
Yeah. Anyone know how tips
Go
out
with
is
honor,
resetting
friend.
the dungeon? Yeah, so if you stagger when you log out and you reset, so like if
I am listening.
half your group logs out and then the people in the dungeon still in the game
Good luck, friend.
reset, the people that log back in will be at the beginning, and then those people log out that were originally in halfway through the dungeon, log out, and then the people at the beginning reset, and then everyone teleports to the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
It's,
does
it's
make
a little
sense. Yeah, yeah,
confusing,
yeah, yeah.
but it's a lot quicker than running all the way out.
Yeah. I think I've seen everyone just like almost. No, actually, I don't
Greetings.
think I've seen that being done yet. So.
Or you can do
careful.
what progress says. Yeah, if you invite someone else, like a 6-person resets, and yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
way to do it. Yeah, but basically the same concept, I said, right?
Stream times who corpse scum. Yeah, those are the annoying ones that nobody wants to see.
What unit frames are as S-Fun used? I'm not sure. Is this X?
That's. I use this on Zephyr.
I'm actually not sure. Is this X? It's not X Pro, is it?
This is not X-Pro. X-Pro
This
is
is,
more green than this.
I'm actually not sure what probably go to stream and ask him. Probably answer you.
Yeah, if you go to the stream and it's
Shadow
just like
unit frames
Shadow unit frame.
or Luna?
Luna, that
Luna?
I think it's Luna. Yeah, Luna.
Luna Shadow frame. Okay, there you go.
I was using these as well, but I just can't remember.
Yeah. Look at that level up. So just leveled up.
Light be with you.
Going back to
Making progress through RFK.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, they're expensive.
Yeah, looks like I think he leveled up, didn't he?
Farewell.
Looks like
Yeah,
he's at
pretty
fresh
sure he's
bar,
there.
yeah.
Yep, he's fresh
Let me
bar.
guess, fishing's also a silver?
27?
Yeah, he must be 20. They have done the escort quest here, right?
Sure.
Pretty positive they done it.
King's honor, friend.
Let's see when he gets out of combat. Ooh,
Yeah. Oh my.
good. Very good.
Yeah, so this is the last
Wait,
one I
how-
need
how-
to get.
Speed
Go with honor,
2.7,
friend.
that's not terrible.
He was slower than he has.
Yeah.
Out of everything, you
Look,
definitely
up.
want to level first aid,
26. Okay, he's just hit.
because
26.
bandaging is going to save your life. As for cooking,
Might uninstall it.
cooking gives you a buff.
So he has
The
medium-
buff depends on what
he
you
has a
cook,
medium
but
shot. Oh my- this guy.
yeah,
Are you guys having?
it can be
problems
very
with times?
beneficial.
Yes.
And
Right
fishing
now
just
it's
helps with
really
cooking.
bad. So it's really bad during the day, right? So normal hours. At night, the queue time drops like if you're logging in at like 3 a.m., it's like a 5-minute queue. Or I think EU doesn't have a queue at all. But then like as soon as like 8 or 9 a.m. hits, it's like
Need help?
13,000 queue. It's like
Yep.
everyone wakes up and just gets on immediately. And it's same with NA, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
doing NA times, basically.
People
Farewell.
here are being logged in at like 10 a.m. in the morning, and
Yeah.
then Martin comes in a few hours later, and his queue should
Yeah.
be popped
Yeah.
at that time. None of the method players.
Yeah,
are
no
playing
one
Hunt.
is actually playing
Ah,
Hunter. I
there
was
we
No
go.
one.
I was really surprised that we don't have a
Yep.
single Hunter
Everyone is
at
dungeon.
the event.
Yep, everyone was thinking
Everyone's
about
playing
dungeon grinding.
Mage or Warrior or
Yeah.
a couple Warlocks here and there. And then Priest, right? You have a couple Priests. I
Yeah,
think
you got a
Roger's
priest
playing
in there.
Priest and someone else.
What's
and
the least represented class that we have here besides Hunter?
I say, well, we don't have any Hunters, so it's not represented
Shaman.
here, right? We don't have any Shamans
We
here.
don't have any shamans here either.
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have hunters. We don't have
yeah,
shamans.
we have a paladin, right?
We have
That's
one
fine.
paladin, yeah,
one
we-
paladin.
Best paladin in the world, clearly.
Yeah, the Reddit in. Druid. Do we have a Druid here? Haunted.
Yeah, we have Haunted as a Druid, yeah.
Yeah, Druids.
We have a couple of warriors, Skull, Kungan.
Yeah.
We have a warlock or two. We have a whole bunch of mages. I think 2 priests.
We have a shaman warrior group. He might be.
But they're low
There might be
level.
a shaman in the group, but they're not here. Like we don't have a shaman physically here.
Yeah.
They might be running with a shaman. I'm honestly
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, there's a group of 3 warriors, 1 druid, 1 shaman.
Yeah.
Once those guys hit 32, oof.
Yeah.
You'll see that low particle tornado go up all the time.
The Wind Fury.
Yeah, the Wind
Yeah.
Fury proc.
Yeah.
Looking for something specific?
Is there a place to see everyone's progress in the race? You can see, so the leaderboard is being updated semi-frequently. That's just the top 5 or 6 here at the event. There is not, actually there is a Reddit thread that is being fairly updated that has everyone worldwide. I don't know how accurate it is, but I know there is a Reddit thread that is trying to keep that up to date. As far as like an in-game or an like add-on or anything like that, that is almost impossible unless you literally have a character on every realm that is like /whoing or whatever, like all, 20 US realms, all 20 EU realms, all 5 or 6 OCE realms, or whatever all the different realms are. Pretty hard to track that, right?
Yeah. We would need quite a few people to keep watching that.
Yeah. Oh, Leo, there you go. Gave you the Reddit thread. You can check that out.
Wait, what did Maliva say? 60s. Or is he like keeping going to 60? Yeah, they are. Nah,
Not stopping till 60s. 27. Got a ways to go.
that is a long way to go.
No, we'll see if that. All right, guys. That about does it for us. And speaking of going to bed, we are going to go to bed.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave you with Falcone and Bookmark, right?
Bah.
And So we'll see you later, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Have a good one, guys. Check your posture. Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Keep grinding.
Good luck with queue times. Later, guys.
See ya.
We knew this end would come.
This is what happens when your unit goes AWOL. Many legends fall. Time for you to join them.
Now I'm gonna go get my Power World shield.
Need help?
Do I really need rank 2 yet?
Light bless you.
Oh. See, I was expecting a little come-in thing there. That's what I get for being away for a couple of days. Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe. I was there about to take a little photo tweet.
Oh, you was? Do you
Yeah,
still
sure.
want to do that now?
Let's do it now.
Anyway,
It's fine. All right.
selfie time over.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to pretend that never happened, and we're going to start again. Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe. And good evening to Asia. We are back with Methods Race to Level 60. I'm Falcone, who totally knows what I'm doing. It's not because I'm tired, I promise. And this is Bookmark. I'm kidding. I'm actually wide awake. I'm still so jet lagged that waking up early is no problem for me at the moment. I don't know about you.
It's been hitting me for the past couple of days a lot, but I feel like I'm catching up to the US body clock right now. Because when I first got here, I was sleeping like 2, 3, 4 hours, and I was fine. I was like, I just don't need to sleep when I'm over here. It's hitting me now.
Perfect.
It's hitting me now. So, going to be having longer night's sleep, getting well rested to keep up with all the antics that are going on here at the event. So, Falcone, we're looking at tips out right now in RFK, playing this pretty melee-heavy composition in these dungeon groups, which is kind of not something that we're seeing from a lot of people who are pushing for the race to world first, right? Because it's just not as optimal as playing with the triple mage and stuff. But you know, something that worries me is I think that there's so many people who is going to be leveling mages first, and like maybe warriors as well, and priests, that you're literally just going to be seeing raids that is just mages, warriors, and priests.
Yeah.
You're not going to see any other class representation.
Hopefully not fire mages.
I don't think fire mages are that good in Molten Core.
Well, that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
I don't think
mean.
they're that good in Molten Core. Yeah. So. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I was going on to a really good point then, and you just interrupted me, Brody.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you shot me right down there. But yeah, so yeah, talk about the compositions and stuff, right? So the bringing out all those mages, I think it could be a little problematic to a degree for the loot system, because you gotta realize that when the boss drops loot, it's class-specific drop. So you've got 40 people in a raid, right? And then you've got the loot pools that drop. when you've got some class diversity, all the loot's pretty much going to get used.
Oh, sure.
You're going to be disenchanting maybe like 4 pieces every time because of the loot that drops. Unless they're extremely lucky, right? And they just get a clean drop. So people are not going to be getting all that much gear this week, but I don't think that it's down my mind that they're going to wear it come the time that they get.
Tips, though, doing pretty well there at level 28. Let's take a look at Kenny Marsh, who is leading the pack, at least in terms of the studio. We're going to take a glance at his level as well. This is his life right now. He's been awake for, what, 40 hours so far? I believe this is still his first game session.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I mean, he's been off for some very small breaks, right? But he's not gone off for an entire night's sleep or whatever. I mean, doing exceptional with just his stamina. Oh, we just spoke to him a moment ago because we just caught him when he was nipping to the toilet, right?
Yeah.
And we just pulled him to one side. I was like, Kenny, how do you do it? And he just looks as live and alert walking around here as he did when he got here. And I don't know how he does it because he just doesn't drink coffee. He doesn't drink Coke. He's solely surviving on water as well. This guy's a powerhouse, you know, and you can see he's very heavy. Now he's 38, in fact. He does say 37. Yeah, but that's no problem. Oh, he's 38 now.
And you know, while this event is obviously a celebration of his game, it's also, I think, a celebration of the players and the people that sort of helped make this happen. The people that really wanted this game to happen, that are insanely talented at it. I actually think anyone, you guys check him out on Twitter, check him out. Obviously, he's quite new on the content creation scene. He never, you know, did the private server-y things because he didn't want to. But now he's here streaming WoW Classic, and I think he's definitely worth your attention.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like you say, he wasn't really promoting himself when he was on those private realms.
Right.
But he was a massive, massive competitor up there.
Yeah, that's
Very,
what I
very
mean, sorry. He wasn't streaming any of that because he just didn't want
Oh,
to.
yeah, that's what I...
Yeah,
sorry, I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely key player there, very, very experienced, and the amount of that I've learned from him as well, just by talking to him about the orders that he's doing things, like dungeon rooms, because you've got to think as well, dungeon rooms is relatively new. When people kind of found out, like, hey, you know, it's really good to do dungeons in Classic WoW. These guys for years upon years have been grinding these questing routes, picking the most perfect routes.
Right.
What's the fastest way to run across the map? Doing like terrain jumps to jump over the sides of one zone to another so they didn't have to run all the way around and to shave off minutes, maybe even 15 minutes in some instances. You know, so
God
just
damn
I've
it.
been picking his brains about that. He said, well, I'm not going to go now because we're just going to start doing it. So, and he's generally a good player at World of Warcraft. Then I feel like that, you know, if you're in the right dungeon, you're just going to do the same as someone like because in regards to the playstyle, it's actually understand the power of the class as it's like, no, it's not really much more right.
Come on. Oh, god damn it.
The running absolutely is there, yeah, indeed. And I like the fact that they've chosen to bring in the Warlock here as well.
Something I do want to point out is, you know, we're talking about how much better farming instances is, but Guzu at second place, level 30. Now, I haven't checked up with him recently, but I assume he's still just world questing, because that was his plan from the beginning. Where do you think he is at level 30?
Goodness, I didn't check out where he was when he left off, but there's so many different places he could be. I mean, he could still be. He could be starting Stranglethorn.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Is Ashenvale's like
possibly? I'm pretty sure you can do 1,000 Needles and start doing 1,000 Needles as well, which is, you know,
1,000 Needles is one of those zones that's changed so much in the Cataclysm. I cannot wait to see it after Classic again.
Yeah, do you remember what it used to look like in Classic?
Vaguely. Like, it's literally like I've got these little impressions in my head where I can see the mountains.
It literally just was a blank canvas, just sand everywhere, and then in the middle of nowhere there's this little city. And it was kind of like themed on Star Wars, right? Because if I remember rightly...
well, that was like the side of the map, because there was the bit with all the needles, which is now flooded. Well, actually, the whole thing's now flooded.
Well, yeah, the entire thing's flooded now in, like,
but yeah,
BFA WoW.
Yeah.
Lol. So yeah, the map terrain is very, very different, and I think that's a lot of where people's and players' nostalgia comes from, because people like the things that they're first used to, right? People don't like change, so you know, anyone who was playing before the Cataclysm expansion, they have very fond memories of Azeroth, right? So being able to re-experience that and with a bunch of new different people, and even some of the same friends that they may have made back then, you know, it's kind of like reliving your childhood. And for me, I'm really excited to be able to throw myself at it, guys. But whilst I'm here, I don't really have the time to do that. But when I get home, I just can't wait to just relive those 16-hour plus binges. You know, they're casual binges as well, right? 16 hours compared to some of these guys.
It's the Ret Paladin himself now, though, wandering around the Duskwood with his crew.
Yeah, he's lucky to just be out in the wall ganking people. This is Ezra style, right? He's not just going to be sitting there grinding power and blast his way through the level. This guy is just out there to have fun.
Yep, he's there with Asmund still going at it. And I saw Asmund tweet something earlier, like along the lines of, I'm not sure what I'm worse at, leveling or sleeping. So.
Oh, right, yeah. Is that like, if he, yeah, he was saying something like, you know, I might be on soon because I just can't sleep or something, right? Yeah, so just keep your eye on, keep your eye out. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, nobody can sleep. I just feel like that he's just getting everybody that way. People are just so excited to just get back online and play. And I'm totally feeling the buzz too. But you can see right here, they're at Ravenhill, looking to be doing the quest line around here. And if my memory serves me well, they, depending on what this quest is that they're handing in, they might be going into the crypt to Sven's farm. Oh, this is the quest. Good item, because I know that 19 Swoop players used to get an item from this quest line.
If it's still good at level 24? Wow.
Well, it's just the fact that in a lot of zones, you can unlock the quest much lower than where the actual zone really suited for. So when you can pick up the first quest, typically, you can complete the entire quest chain. So you'll find some players sometimes at like you could at level 16 be running around with a level 31's weapon. Right. You know, just because the first pickup quest was so low, you could then complete the quest line. So that's kind of how it all, people figured that out really early on, and that's how that whole thing began. You know, and I used to play a lot of that stuff as well, and I really enjoyed it back then. So I'm having fond memories of this now. So what quests are there? Spider legs. Loot quests though, how tedious can these be?
Yeah, well, it doesn't get any easier with the more people you bring. Well, I guess it does when you take them down faster, but it is one heck of a grind to get the loot. I'm not sure if you catch, right in the first part of the broadcast today, we were watching, I believe it was Guzu, and he was really just trying to get an amulet. He was trying to get this rare amulet that with a what, 0.4% drop rate, or 0.6, or something like that. And for ages, he and someone else were killing creatures with this amulet. And then he ran out, his dagger broke, and he was running out of throwing knives. He had enough throwing knives for one mob. And he even typed in to the guy, and it dropped the last one. He freaked out.
I remember, but I wasn't paying attention to the stream, so I was looking, and to this moment, I cannot figure out what was this amulet. So, do you know what this amulet was, or if anyone in chat knows, could you please show me what this amulet is? Right, because I was pretty sure, like, what's so good about this amulet? Like, why does he need this?
It's a quest item, quest reward.
It's too far away.
Not quest reward, quest item. Needed to find it for a timed quest. It was lost but not forgotten. There you go. I can't remember the name of the amulet, but I can remember the name of the quest.
Right.
Timed quest. Fond amulet.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I totally remember now. I forgot about the timed quests. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
It was funny because I made the joke where you picked out the timed quest. Like, that time is a bit irrelevant, isn't it? But finding this amulet took such a long time.
It literally is out of you. Sometimes you just complete quest, sometimes you won't. But you just don't want to go and repeat it, right? You just gotta just throw in the towel if you're trying to like race and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty good that paid off for him.
Someone in chat says, I got the amulet for my first croc kill. Well, Guzu was not that lucky.
Props to you, sir. Props to you.
Really low drop chance.
Yeah. So you can see here we're looking at Marsh right now on this rogue point of view. Just trying to figure out what specialization he's going to imagine. Looking at the fact he's playing with swords, he's going to be able to combat build, because I feel like that's pretty good. Because you get the improved sinister strike, reduces the cost of sinister strike by 5 energy, which is over a long period of time, it's a lot, right? The amount of more combo points that you will gain over the entire
I'm about to run out of food.
Is significant. So more damage, likely to be the best bet that he's going to be going with. Or we might also find that he's swapping talents in between different trees really early on.
Pretty sure that's not S-Fand. Just going to throw that one out there.
Oh yeah, this isn't S-Fand. This is this is Marsh. Yeah.
Yeah, playing with Shroud in his group. This is quite a little stacked streamer lineup we got going on here.
Yeah, it is actually. I didn't realise that. That's nice. I wonder what Shroud's playing. I can't tell because he's playing an Orc, so I'm guessing a Sharp.
It's players like Shroud that, you know, Shroud is very well known for playing games like PUBG, Apex, etc. Huge streamer, and it's players like him playing WoW Classic that's really helping to dramatically boost those numbers. And you see it, I mean, I've been seeing it all over Twitter, like so many big streaming personalities that I've never associated with World of Warcraft in any way whatsoever. They're tweeting me, I'm in my WoW Classic queue, I want to get in, I want to get in the game. And it's a really exciting time for World of Warcraft.
I think what you got to realise is a good majority of players who play video games in general, who are between the ages of, let's say, I don't know, 24 plus, right? Their gaming online experience likely started on Classic WoW or TBC, you know? So you just got to think, this is a lot of people's childhoods right here. So all these really awesome plays that you see who are excellent at all different arrays of games, it kind of, maybe the whole thing started with Classic WoW. So this is just a big deal just for the gaming, not just the Warcraft. So, I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
And even the people that don't believe the Classic WoW is going to last in the long run, there's a lot of people out there that just don't. They think in a month's time this game isn't going to have any population at all. I think one of the exciting things about it is due to how successful it's been with its launch. Maybe this is going to encourage Blizzard to implement more elements of Classic WoW into the next expansion. Maybe it is time for a step backwards. Maybe there'll be a new MMO that feels more like Classic WoW in the future. Who knows?
Now this is something, right? And I mean, this is the optimism that every game designer on the planet has ever had. And there's been so many game designers that come along and think, hey, I could make a game like that. And you know, you get years and years of hype train from people like, oh my god, this new MMO is going to be awesome. And then people play it for a week and like, yeah, I'm going to go play WoW again. There's something about WoW that's really captivating, and I think I may have hit the nail on the head with it.
I think there's something about Blizzard, honestly. The polish that they put into all of their games is quite special. Alright, we just got a hot comfy boy here. Oh, right.
Yeah, I had my pass around the deck and it was just strangling.
Yeah, I took mine off earlier as well. It's quite early. It's like as soon as we were on the camera, I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. So sorry, pick up. What was you just saying before anything?
No, what was I just saying before we said that? New game. Oh yeah, it's just something about Blizzard and the polish that they put into their games, right? Like, I mean, even games that haven't necessarily been quite as successful, like Heroes of the Storm. Like whenever didn't play Heroes of the Storm very often. I'm not a MOBA guy. Whenever I did load it up, as soon as I start clicking on things in the menu, it's like, oh, this just feels good. This menu just looks and feels good, you know? I
completely attest to that as well. I think you're so right about that. And I think I'm going to kind of pull a conversation that we had maybe a week or so ago or whatever. And you were saying about you used to, when you used to like card games and stuff, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. And you said that, you know, you wanted to play more than once a week with your friends in real life.
Yeah.
But when Hearthstone came out...
Exactly. It was the polish. It was the fact it felt like a AAA video game that drew me away from the dodgy Yu-Gi-Oh! Online networks and onto Hearthstone.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is, right? Because you just wanted to play more than once a week, and as soon as Hearthstone came out, you had the facilitation to do so. Playing online on the internet on such a clean...
The downside to this is... Oh, hello, Ego.
A little cheeky.
The downside to this is how good it feels. Hearthstone packs to open. It feels so good. I'm ready for some more. Give me more. You know.
Take my money.
That's the
Give
problem.
me more boxes.
Blizzard, take my money. Take it now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we're looking at Jake and Bake here. I don't know what he's trying to get at here with Ego. I just kind of.
I don't know if I want to know what he wants to do with his ego.
I'm not sure either, but you can see Jake here. He's on that rogue there as well. I just want to take a quick look at his main hand weapon to figure out. He's rocking a mace, so likely again going through that combat build.
Jesus Christ, he was doing some damage.
In general. Not necessarily the best all the way through when you get to max level, but your leveling spec is always I would say drastically different to the spec that you want to play when you're level 60, depending on what you're into, right? So people just pick the next best one, so I can't imagine that people are kind of going for a type talent layout. But really early on, rogues are not that bad in dungeons. Granted, it's slightly that better for AoE and stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, rogues are quite okay. And when rogues get to level 30, level 20, sorry, they get Blade Flow, which means that they can activate that. It lasts for, I believe, going to 15-year-old memory here, so bear with me. I think it lasts around 15 seconds.
Oh, look,
your energy regen
lag.
20%, and you can cleave mobs with it. It hits like 2 mobs at the same time, so you've not got huge cleave, but you've got some pretty heavy cleave because the single target damage for rogues is higher than a lot of other classes very early on. So they do have some value there as well. And you also have the crowd control if it's necessary for certain pulls. But this early on, we're not really seeing it because it's kind of just like a bit of a stomp right here. So
Oh, there's Trey. I didn't realize Trey was still up.
Well, Trey's just standing up right now as they're about to start a fresh Deadmines run.
Is he leaving? Oh, he's just getting some refreshments, I think.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, because he's got a plate of pizza in his hand, right? I don't think he's going anywhere.
So again, for
servers crashed.
haven't been keeping up and don't know who Trey is. Trey actually is part of Method Management. He's one of the, one of the
big boys.
One of the big boys. He was one of the people looking after us back in the Eternal Palace race, but now at this event, he considers himself very much a WoW Classic guy. He's here competing, and he wants to be competing with the best of them. A lot of us were saying the winner is going to be, or the winner to the race to 60 is going to be him or Kenny Marsh, and I think obviously Kenny Marsh has gotten ahead a little bit, but I don't think Trey's given up. And if Trey can stay up for longer than Kenny, not that that's necessarily a healthy competition to have, we might have a tight one on our hands. But he's not near the top though at the moment.
No, he's not. He's level 23 right now. Kenny's what, 38? That's a huge difference in hours.
But did Trey sleep yet?
Trey has been to sleep, yeah. So
right. Whereas Kenny hasn't. So
Kenny
that
has
makes a difference.
You're talking about normal schedules, right? And I mean, if you're Kenny right here, you're being that successful, you're very aware, like, hey, I'm pretty much way ahead of the curve for the majority grand scheme of things. That's going to push you on. That's just going to keep driving you. I mean, there's been rumors around the studio that Kenny and his team are expecting to be going for 70 hours straight, right? And what hour are we on right now? I'm not quite sure what hour we're on. I'm just going to try and do some quick math. So we got maybe we're on like hour 38 or something, give or take, whatever. Thereabouts that mark. So is that pretty much halfway?
Wow, yeah, I guess so. Jeez.
Because guys, I mean, what you have to realize, right? He's past that level 30 threshold. He's level 38, but he's not halfway to 60.
Right. That's the thing. Like it gets harder and harder the higher level you get. Although, and I don't even know if this is going to affect him with his route. I don't even know if he's going to have time to go and do this. But at level 40, you can get your first mount. Do you think that's going to be something that Kenny does, or is that just too far out of his way?
It's going to be just solely dependent if he's got the gold, because he can just go and pick that up really quickly if he's got the gold, because it's not like he's a warlock or a paladin where you have a class quest that you need to go and do to unlock the mount to save the gold. But gold's not a concern at this point in time, because they are, in instances, they're not using the mounts. The only time they're really going to get benefit from it.
Now the interesting thing is, if the server comes back up, will I be still in the just below bind, or will I be where I'm standing now? Where I'm standing now is much more appealing.
There you go. Trey in chat. Occidental is Trey. You can see him typing on screen right now. I slept a full night's worth and had 6+ hours of queues. Kenny hasn't slept yet, so yeah, I mean, Kenny's going to have to sleep at some point, and when he does, I imagine he'll be out for a long time. I mean, efficiency becomes a problem, doesn't it? The longer you stay awake, when you are talking more than 20 hours, more than 30 hours, like, the human body and the human brain doesn't quite function how it should.
Yeah, it doesn't quite stay on peak form, let's say, after a certain amount of time. I think Kenny's massively past that threshold, right? At least for us mortals, but he's seeming like an immortal right now because he's powering his way through. This is the thing, as Occidental in chat, aka Trey's just been pointing out, when someone goes to sleep, then that's when it's catch-up time, right? And when he goes to sleep, I imagine it's going to be a crash and burn, a 10-hour sleep session, because you know, he could set an alarm, he can really prize himself out of bed, but how much productivity is he going to be able to pull out if he come back after 4 hours, right? Is that not really that valuable? The extra 4 hours?
Look at this bunch of idiots. Sorry, I just really wanted to say that. There was no way I could organically put it in, so I'm just like, yeah, you know what? If they wiped, then I could have said it so easily, but it's not going to happen.
You should have saved that until the wipe, because they're playing, what you got to realize about these guys here, they're doing something a bit unconventional, at least here for the players and their compositions in the studio. They have no tank. They're playing with 4 mages and a priest.
Oh shoot, you're right, yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
It does, when they run out of mana, if they don't manage to cleave everything down, it does get messy. So
that is so funny.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to play, right? But I do at this level they have the mana gem as well.
The amount of damage they're dealing is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just take a look at that big recount over there, guys. We're talking. What is this?
Hey, goblins, get over here! Yeah, you, get over here and group up together.
This is quite a dangerous room. It's not the most dangerous in the instance. Because
I'm hoping that what I said is right, you know.
Room after that, with the goblins at the bottom there, it's pretty dangerous. But this is a pretty tough pull as well. Just got to be careful with your kiting, because you can see here Ziz is doing the best that he can, just applying that blizzard right at the front of the mob, so they run into it, and that entire zone of area of effect. He can stand there for longer, channeling it without having to worry about taking damage due to the snare from the blizzard. And this is kind of a rinse and repeat process that we're seeing. Blizzard is very, very mana expensive, so what you may see people doing to maximize efficiency is using a low rank blizzard as they get higher level, when they've got a higher mana pool, so they can chain more blizzards back to back, when the other mages will be just spamming arcane explosion.
That's one of the advantages of WoW Classic, something that you can't do in retail WoW, right? Because in modern WoW, retail WoW, whatever you want to call it, your spells update as you level up automatically, whereas back in Classic you actually have to train them, and as you get higher levels you unlock higher ranks of your spells, which just means they do more damage, but they also cost more mana. Maybe they take longer to cast as well, etc. And a strategy can actually be not updating your spells, because that means they won't cost more mana, and as you said, they can chain them together more frequently.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, because talking about using the low rank, excuse me, talking about using the low rank spells and stuff, you train a new spell, it's not like, oh no, I've lost my old spell. You can go back into your spell book and pull out rank 1 still and put that in your action bar.
Oh, okay,
as well as the oh, sorry. So you can do that. So you can choose, do I want to expend more mana to do more damage in this instance, or do I just want the spell effect only, low mana cost over time, which is where rank 1 Blizzard later on will become really effective, especially when you get into places like BRD, where there's a lot of mobs you've got to deal with, and you get a lot of runners as well. And if you don't manage to stop the runners getting away, they will pull more packs. So accidental pack kills, you need to make sure you've got mana in the tank to be able to deal with them, or it's a definitive wipe, which will set you back a lot. So, you know, being really clever with how you're utilizing the ranks of your spells is definitely going to go towards how efficient you're going to be able to play through these instances. Let's take a look over here at Kenny.
Here is Kenny, leading the pack still. What's going on here? Got some sheep wandering around.
Yes, these mobs are pretty tough, so what they're doing, they've gone inside and they're pulling them all the way down to the side, doing an entire room pull.
Right, there we go.
This is extremely dangerous. That tank is, if he survives this, I'll be mighty impressed. He's spamming Piercing Howl here, whilst Kenny is just chaining these blizzards.
Okay, so
does come out there, dropping down the blizzard again here. I suspect this is rank 1 due to how much mana he's taken away from his mana bar, because he knows this. As soon as these snares drop, the group wipes. One mage down here as well. Kenny could be the next to go down. The Warlock pumping out Hellfire. Kenny goes down. Warlock to follow. No snares left, and that's going to be a group wipe. This is what I'm talking about, right?
So many bodies came around that corner, though.
It's so risky, but that was hilarious, I must say. That's one of the bravest pulls you can do. If they pulled that off, I would have got him off the couch, I'd have gone over and shook his hand, to be quite honest with you, because that's a very excessive pull, you know, and it's just the amount of mobs that you've got to control, right? For instance, using Frost Nova can be quite risky, and what happened there, if you kind of pay close attention, is when he executed that Frost Nova, is that he Frost Nova'd them whilst they were spreading up stacked. So the Warlock where he was positioned with, he was casting Hellfire at the mob at the front closest to Kenny, so their Frost Nova broke sooner, elongating the path.
Need to build mana.
So when he dropped one Blizzard, and he was kiting around not in a straight line, so when he dropped the one Blizzard over here, that the mobs kind of was running around the snares, and that's when you kind of lost control of what was going on, and ultimately it stemmed to a wipe. And that does happen when you get more mobs and stuff. It's a lot harder to control them, and especially in SM Cath. I mean, those mobs hit very hard.
You're kidding.
Back to this little squad that we've been keeping our eye on throughout this this shift so far. Running around through the dead mines.
Just chilling through the dead mines. I like how they've got Talbar Mantle as well. That's a really good shoulder slot item. The only one that's pretty similar to that around this level that you can get through a dungeon is Ghostly Mantle. I think it gives you 5 in 5 Spirit Ghostly Mantle. Talbar Mantle gives you 6 in and 3 stamina. So having more intellect is obviously imperative for these casters, right?
Am I crazy, or was Trey saying at first that he was going to just keep playing until he gets level 60 without sleeping? I'm sure he said that originally. Obviously, he hasn't stuck to that already.
He hasn't stuck to that, and that's solely due to situation, because really early on he got that 5-hour disconnect. So he thought, well, that plan's over, so now I'm going to have to take a different strategy. I'm just going to get well rested until this thing's smoothed out, and then just play a massive catch-up session.
All right, guys, well, stick around, because we've got plenty more WoW classes coming up. We're going to get to a very short commentator break, but we'll be back in just a few moments.
Yep. And there goes the volume controller. Gotta be careful of those wolves.
To level 60, and yeah, it's the same crew going through the dead mines.
Yeah, this is Nuggy's team, right, with Method Trey. You've also in there, you've got Zizarum, but DeSolo is the healer here, and I'm not sure who he is. I don't know if he's just a random pickup that they found in LFG or Trade Chat or whatever. But he's not on site, he's not in the studio, nor is Steel Wizard, but...
Well, so just the one priest is just the random guy?
Yeah, and that's something to worry about, because I was talking before to Ziz, and he sat next to Trey in the studio, and I was talking to him, you know, like, what's going on.
Why not?
You know, blah, blah, blah. There's no guarantee for how long he's going to be around, right, which means that when they get higher level, they may have to try and find a healer that's also higher level to be able to fill the spot in the dungeons, and more importantly, looking at the composition that's running with these 4 mages, and the only people in studio doing so. But when they get to BRD, it's physically impossible to do that dungeon without an actual tank. So someone's going to have to jump out and they're going to have to get a tank in. So this is why, I mean, it was playing just for a really early game strategy, but just due to the misfortune of, you know, the disconnects and stuff like that, they've not managed to get the lead that they base their composition around. So
had a ding there.
Yeah. Oh yes, we did. We did have a ding.
Didn't see who it was, but Maldiva is close himself.
It must be the warrior, I think, or yeah, one of the warriors. No, I think it was the tank warrior.
Wait, is that Gara, as in like Gara, the former Hearthstone player?
Quite possibly. We can't rule anything out. Wow. So many people that are going to be over here.
We look this one up.
Yeah, sure, just go and check that out. Take a look at Maldiva's point of view. Playing on that wall. I believe, because he's not level yet, he's on level 27, because he's on level 28. He doesn't yet have the Hellfire, and that's literally when his class becomes activated. When he gets that Hellfire, essentially what that ability does is it pulses out AoE fire damage in an 8-yard radius, which of course is a 16-yard diameter, and what that also does is it chips away his HP every time it ticks, so it's a lot more strenuous on the healer to be able to keep him alive whilst he's pulsating this huge AoE damage. But
I do need to do some farming, so it's not a really big deal.
Dungeons faster, because right now if you take a look at how he's forced to play, he's just applying dots, single target at a time, tabbing through them, and pretty much by the time he gets all of his dots up and activates the Rain of Fire, they're pretty much all dead. He's going to be getting a lot more value out of his damage when he gets that Hellfire at level 30, so we should see things speed up. And I guess it'll become a little more fun for him, because tab dotting is one of the most tedious tasks in WoW, if you ask me personally.
So just to follow up on what I was just saying, there's a couple of people in chat talking about it now. It's actually not Gara, from what I can tell, because I mean, it's obviously someone called Gara with the same spelling. But Gara that I'm talking about is streaming World of Warcraft right now, but is not in this group. He's playing an orc, so it seems to just be a different Gara with the exact same spelling, despite the fact that Pro Gara is streaming. So that's just a funny little tidbit there.
That's a bit of a coincidence,
yeah,
right?
Unless he's like multi-boxing and I didn't see.
I don't know what people will be doing that. I mean, the inefficiency can get different groups as well. Maybe not. But it's very funny how that's the same spelling, unlikely.
Well,
so
yeah, people saying in chat it's a character from Naruto, which explains the spelling being the same, right?
True. Okay, well, I've never watched Naruto.
Nor have I.
So don't hate me, chat. I know there's probably a lot of Naruto fans out there. But yeah, so there we go. Learn something new today, Falcone.
Yep.
So we can see here in RFK, just grinding the way through the mobs here. That's pretty cool. You can see all stacked up pretty early on, caught in that Frost Nova. Maldiva, again, just trying to apply these damage over time effects. So I just wanted to pay a little bit of a close attention to the pack HP. By the time that he started channeling that Rain of Fire, all of the mobs were still 50%. Again, it's just quite inefficient to bring a Warlock in. So I guess when the realms just go live for the first time, you're not a great bunch of people that you have to pick from. It's not like when you get to level 30, it's like, hey, let's just kick this mage or this warrior and get a warlock that's also level 30, right?
Looking for a level 30 warlock, and then there's just tumbleweed below.
Yeah. So there's a lot to worry about in that regard.
We did just have the ding.
Nice.
I wonder when we're going to get that level 40 ding from Kenny. We're getting the sirens going off again.
That will be huge. That will be absolutely huge when that happens. So, and I believe you get an ice barrier as well. As a ice barrier, that's so good defensively because the priest can then save his power word shield, because that does have a 15-second cooldown from weakened soul. You can't reapply power word shield, so if he's taking brunt of some damage, he has his ice barrier already active, likely with another charge of ice barrier available, as he does last for 1 minute the duration on ice barrier, but it's only on a 24-second cooldown. So he's going to be really, really, really resilient to being just instigated by these mobs, which will allow them to do larger, more risky pulls going forward. And what's interesting is that they've chosen to go back to SMR instead of SMP.
Okay. So what does that mean? They've decided that it's just not worth going for that difficulty just yet? They'd rather grind out something a little bit easier and not wipe? I mean, not wipe.
They're very, very capable of level 3 to be able to do SM Cathedral, right? But not in an efficient way.
Not as quickly as they'd like to.
Because they can't mass pull, the mobs are too high level. There's a lot of things to worry about. There's a lot of different type of casters that need interrupting there as well. and they just don't have the throughput damage and the mana pools essentially at this point in time to be able to deal with it. It's just not. It's just too risky, too high risk for the reward, right? Because they can just go to SM Armory, drop the mobs down a couple levels, and have a much more cleaner run. But as we're seeing here, they're not actually doing full clears of these dungeons, which is what's pretty interesting. They're just going through the large hallways.
Well, yeah, exactly. You go through the most populated areas, you're grinding out as much experience as possible. And hey, for Kenny, it's clearly working. I don't want to doubt what he's doing at all. This guy leagues above everyone else in the stream. Those 8 levels that he is above, because Kenny's at least level 38 now. I don't know if is Guzo even in the studio right now.
He's not.
Yeah, right. So those at least 8 levels that Kenny is in front of everyone else. That is huge. That is, how many hours do you think it will take most of these guys to get from level 30 to 40?
I'd say probably 50 hours.
You're talking more than an hour a level at that point.
At the rate that everybody else is going, because I mean they all started at the same time.
God damn it.
At the rate that, let's say, rank number 2 is doing like Guzo, and then you got Maldiva and Tips.
Bloody trap.
Level 27 there, on the scoreboard at least. I'd say a good 15 hours until they catch up to that point where Kenny's at, right? But you've got to realize Tips has been to sleep, Maldiva's been to sleep, Guzo will have been to sleep, Carla's been to sleep, and that's just on the leaderboard right there. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So Kenny's really, really far ahead, but at some point he's going to crash and burn, and that's when the only opportunity will come for them to be able to bridge that gap.
And then the question is, I mean, I wonder how, I mean, Kenny's planned this, right? Kenny's obviously planned his route. I wonder how, to what extent he's planned his sleeping. Because, like, when he does crash, how long is he going to be asleep for?
This is the thing. I mean, if it was me,
how's he going to feel when he wakes up?
Because, you know, it's one thing saying sleeping and stuff, but there's other things to consider as right. We're talking about min-maxing time. If he's like, okay, guys, I'm taking a 4-hour break, what that means is he logs off his computer, heads back to his hotel room, it takes him 10 minutes to go to sleep, there's an easy 15 minutes. Same thing tomorrow morning, plus a bit more for getting ready. That's less sleep than 4 hours, right? That's like 3.5 hours sleep if he goes to sleep right away. So it's a good chance if he did have a 4-hour break, that's 3 hours worth of sleep. And that hour of rest is huge, absolutely huge. So, you know, chat's probably like, lol, 1 hour huge. But when you've been like surviving on no sleep at all, having an extra hour makes a difference. So I don't know, if it was me and I was him, I'd be trying to aim for a 7-hour break. Just all in all, 6 hours worth of sleep. I think that should be enough to take him all the way through to 60, provided it goes sometime soon. Maybe when he gets to level 40, that might be something he'd be looking to do.
Yeah, that's absolutely something that he should be thinking of doing. The problem is the team, right? Like he was saying to us a few moments ago, I don't know when I'm going to get to sleep. It depends on what my team is doing. So I guess there's that peer pressure to stay awake that everyone on the team has.
Yeah.
And then do they plan an alarm? Are they like, right, we're going to be back at this time, don't be late?
Well, I'd imagine so, right? But I mean, some people are worse sleepers than others.
Right, well, that's the thing. Like, the alarm might go off. One of the players might just be like, oh, I can't play right now.
And then they're going to let something down. And then I think if as soon as you become conscious after an alarm going off, these guys will get up, because it's not just themselves are letting down, it is the rest of the team. And for how far progress they are, you know, they're possibly letting their future reputations down, right? I mean, if you are going to be like first, second, or third, or all the way up to 5th team in the Race to World First level 60 to get to level 60, likely people will remember your name for a long period of time, right? Because that's quite a feat in itself, considering how many players are currently playing right now. To be up there in those top numbers, you know, it's definitely an achievement that's worth bragging about. I know that I would be bragging about it for sure if I managed to get level 60 first. But I don't think that I've got the minerals like these guys do.
I have to admit, I'm really enjoying the music as well. Like throughout this event, I've just been, occasionally I like to just shut up and just listen.
WoW sound. Classic WoW soundtracks. So good.
Honestly, that was back when I was a lot younger. One of my favorite things about World of Warcraft was just like putting my headphones on, pumping the volume up, and just immersing myself in the world. It really is an incredible world to immerse yourself in.
It is, and if I'm going to be honest with you, I joke about this sometimes when I hear people and I'm watching a stream when they're playing with WoW sound, like talking about like live on BFA and stuff, and I've not listened to WoW sound since TBC, right? And what's quite funny is that, you know, I used to play so I could hear the ability sounds, I could hear the music, so you get very familiar with the sound spells and the sound effects and stuff, and over the years, some very signature spells sound effects have changed, and I reinstalled WoW on a different computer a couple of months ago at the start of the year, in fact, and I didn't turn WoW sound off, and I was hitting a target double. And as a paladin, all of my spells sounded so different. I was like, what? I was like, oh, is that what repent sounds like now? You know, like, well, it wasn't repent, obviously, on a target double, but you know, I was like, whoa, things sound. I remember it so differently, and it's like, oh, okay, you know. And I'm very nostalgic about how I used to do it, right? You know, back in classic WoW and stuff. And again, for people who do play with sound actively, that's more of a nostalgic experience. Listening to the sounds as you're talking about, and we've just witnessed a wipe here, though.
Yeah. What a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. What a bunch of idiots.
Doesn't work when they're not actually in the guild. A bunch of idiots, does it? These guys are heroes. We need to see them do something heroic. These are the bunch of idiots.
Speaking of the bunch of idiots here, they're using the wheel strategy here in Dead Mines. What you can do there is you can skip packs. I'm just going to take a look. Yeah, they skip the packs down at the bottom there. You can see those mobs. They want to pull them from the top. Because rather than running around the ramp up the stairs to run past them, expending mana, using the Frost Nova to not take damage whilst they're trying to kite all the way up to the top of the big pull here. From the bottom ramp, you can jump onto the wheel, and from the wheel up to the center platform. And then you can use the Z-axis to be able to pull, as you saw Trey do there. And then whilst the mobs are running around, you're essentially getting to the end location. And eventually, all these mobs will collaborate in one place, and the Frost Nova will hit. We'll expect to see that any second now. Here it is. I saw 3 Frost Novas come out there. I think that may be a little bit of a waste overlap on Novas there. Trey still has his. He's going to be following up with that pretty shortly. Very, very good. Just throwing out that there, keeping those mobs in place, grinding them down. And that's how mages do.
That is how mages do.
I mean, doing the same thing over and over and over again for like 4 days straight. I don't know about you, Falcone, but I know it's classic WoW, but I think I'd get bored of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it gets to the point when it is literally the same instance over and over. Not too much, but like, I don't know. Like, one of the cool things about World of Warcraft, I think one of the things that made it so cool when it first came out, like in vanilla, and one of the things that maybe even sets it apart from retail is that it feels like you're going on an adventure, right? Like, you look at the layout of these dungeons, and it's not necessarily clear which way you're supposed to go. And when you complete a dungeon, you don't get this pop-up being like, dungeon complete, achievement unlocked, and no, you got into the end of this dungeon, which is like, it's just the next step on an adventure. Maybe you want to explore it further, maybe you want to see what's around this corner, maybe you're ready to leave, maybe you want to go start the next adventure, and that's the cool thing about vanilla, or classic World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I just love it, and I just like this final fight, the Van Cleef fight, right? And I mean, R.I.P. Van Cleef, because for many, many years he's not been on the scene, right, in regards to live realm play, and I've not seen this guy for a good 10 years, so, you know, I'm just about to have a catch up with an old friend right now. Oh, there you are, Edwin. Long time no see. But do I want to see the back of you right here as fireballs get loaded into Mr. Van Cleef himself? There's 2 ads initially that they need to worry about there, but having 4 mages, Falcone, it's not really going to be much of an issue. You might even see Polymorph come out onto them. Nope, second crossover overlap there. So that should be around like another 8-second over.
I wish I hadn't seen him in a long time, but I see him every single time I play against a rogue in Hearthstone. Seriously, this card is
Yeah, true. But this is he's such an iconic character in classic WoW, Edwin Van Cleef, because he's the leader of the People's Militia, essentially, in the Defiers Brotherhood, because the People's I don't know if you know the story behind it, but I'm really going to try and keep this short.
Go on,
I'm going to really try and keep this short.
He's dead now,
so yeah, Corsair's Overshare. That is the best drop that they could have as mages, by the way, from this boss, because the 11th Spirit, granted, it's got no intellect on there, but the Spirit is very, very, very good to abuse the MP5 rule. You know, stop casting for 5 seconds, essentially. And a Blizzard channel, that lasts around 4 seconds. No, it's 8 seconds, sorry. So they'll start replenishing mana toward the end of the Blizzard channel, ironically. So having more Spirit is very, very good. But going back to the People's Militia, the TLDR of it is that the People's Militia didn't like what the Throne was doing, and they rebelled, and Van Cleef was the leader of them, and some of them rebelled against the throne, and they didn't get their own way when they tried to do so, so they exiled themselves to here in the Dead Mines.
I could tell them they're on stream right now, but that would just spoil the fun.
So yeah, that's a very, very brief rundown TLDR of that. So he's a leader of a cult, right? You know, very, very iconic in the early quest lines, especially in Classic WoW. So if you do progress through Westfall, for instance, you'll learn a lot about how that unfolds if you pay attention to the quest logs, the quest details. Pretty interesting stuff, definitely, if that's what you're into.
Another one of the cool things about World of Warcraft, and this isn't strictly just Classic, although I think something that does separate Classic from retail is that retail, you've got like very specific stories now. Like when when an expansion comes out, there's like the main storyline. Whereas in Classic, it didn't feel like there was a main storyline. There were just so many different storylines, and you could just do one quest chain and be like, oh, that was a cool little story that just continued.
If you compare it to a TV series, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, sure, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so many solid storylines that all just come together to make a TV series, aka a video game, right? So I agree. I think that's a really good part about it, you know, because it's like, oh, I'm not really interested in this storyline. I'll just ignore it and I'll pick up a fresh one. But none of them actually matter. They're just to captivate you, right?
Funnily enough, there's a lot more killing in this than in Game of Thrones, actually.
Really?
I mean,
I didn't think it was possible.
Look at all the bodies on the ground right now.
It's genocide. So yeah, they're handling Cookie right now, which Cookie, if you guys are maybe familiar with him, he's the last boss currently in Dead Mines on live right now. What happens is when you kill the dude that looks like Greymane, I forgot his name, up on the platform where Van Cleef is, then Cookie will spawn in the room afterwards as the final boss.
It's a little hard to take down than that, I imagine.
Yeah, he's a little harder because he kind of just sits in a cauldron in the middle of the room and throws stuff out. And what's interesting about it is if you're leveling up, you kind of do the quote-unquote normal mode of Dead Mines on live. And that's very straightforward, very easy, especially when you've got heirlooms and stuff to deal with it, lol. But there's a heroic version at level 85 where things get a lot more interesting. So once you kill Vanessa Van Cleef...
I know, right? It just spoiled the fun.
Dude. No, sorry, you go up there, you kill the wolf boss, you kill Cookie. Then you go to the start of the dungeon again, you get teleported there, and you have to go through a bunch of really mechanics.
One of these.
For something specific?
Like almost like a maze to get back to that same platform. Then you'll fight Vanessa Van Cleef, who is now the ruler of the Defiance Brotherhood, avenging her father's death.
Father, right. So, I was going to ask you what the relation was there,
yeah. So that's a really cool storyline as well. I mean, I love that whole storyline. I think it's probably my favorite in World of Warcraft, actually. I absolutely love it.
Here's Hotted, chilling at level 19. We're going to see the level 20 ding soon-ish. Hotted playing Druid. We haven't seen that many Druids.
We haven't, but here's something to note. So, guys, I don't know, you've probably got a lot of different opinions from people in the chat or whatever, but Druids generally are the best tank for dungeon leveling all the way through Classic. So Hotted is going to be able to be the best dedicated tank out of everybody in the studio because no one else is running with a Druid, at least out of the players. Maybe there's some of the talent and stuff or whatever that are going to be playing Druid, but out of the actual
probably consider selling some of this shit.
Druid. The reason for why it's so good is the fact that they have swipe. And it's spammable. It only hits 3 mobs at a time, but you can kind of predict and position which mobs you want them to hit based on which direction your character is facing relative to the mobs in front of you. So it's very, very easy to get AoE threat. They're very, very tanky as well in bear form. And you know, there are instances where you can be very self-sufficient. So an example of that would be if there is like a y-axis right here. So if he's at the top of the y-axis right here taking a lot of damage, he can jump off, and as the mobs are running around, he can come out of bear form, he can heal himself back to full, apply heal over time effects and get back in bear form, and that will save so much mana from his healer as well. So they'll be able to play a longer game of tank and spank against mobs. And there are certain dungeons throughout the course of the dungeon experience of the 60 where
could be anywhere in the world
and will be a key part of some of the strategies to be able to do larger pulls to be able to excel further through the experience bars. So yeah, it's good to be able to watch somebody actually playing deemed to be the best.
I am actually going to
deemed to be the best tank is for that reason
end
also.
this stream
and one may ask
now.
Well, why doesn't everybody run with a Druid?
Why doesn't everybody run with a Druid? Well, that's what I was gonna ask.
And the reason for that is because when you get to raiding, the Druids are one of the weaker classes in every specialization. They in Molten Core, they're the weakest healer, they're the weakest damage dealer, and they're the weakest tank. borderline with prop paladin and enhancement shaman tanks.
It's the sort of punishment that the game gives them for being so versatile, right? Like any class that can do multiple different things typically can't do any of those individual things as well as a class. Like
Nice.
Mage can only be a damage dealer.
Right.
Yeah, seriously, I gotta go to work tomorrow, so.
Yeah, so something that like it's like a jack of all
Alright,
trades,
guys.
but a master of none.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Time to
really
end.
Warcraft, you know?
Hybrid tax. That's the word I was looking for. That's it.
Quiet method. Anyway, I'm gonna go, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't end up with another hour's queue. Actually, come to think of it, it was 5 hours because I actually started logging in at 3:30 via remote login. So, anyway, night all. If you liked the video, please feel free to give it a like. Likes help YouTube algorithm find similar content for your recommendations. Also, if you'd like, feel free to subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications. This will help notify you when I release new content. Like always, I'll see you in the next one.